Hi, we're Team 17, and today we'll be going through our operations strategy for Belisa Natural, specifically addressing capacity challenges to the Maduria Salon. Belisa Natural has built a strong brand around catering to clients with textured hair, and its signature service, the Super Relaxante treatment, is a major driver of both customer loyalty and revenue. However, rapid growth has brought new challenges, especially at high demand locations like Maduria. As we will show today, operational inefficiencies, particularly on the weekends, are limiting throughput, creating long wait times, and reducing overall customer satisfaction. Our solution is a combination of cross training, layout optimization, and incentivized demand shifting, all designed to increase capacity without incurring significant costs. Let's begin by familiarizing ourselves with the company's background. Belisa Natural is a beloved salon chain in Brazil known for its deep understanding of curly and wavy hair. With this unique positioning, it has seen strong demand, especially in urban markets. At the Madureira location, though, that demand has begun to outpace capacity. Customers face long wait times, especially on weekends, and staff are unevenly utilized throughout the week. The most critical service, the Super Relaxante treatment, is not only time consuming, but also the core offering that keeps clients coming back. Any inefficiencies in this process directly impact both revenue and client retention. What's happening here is a classic operations problem: high demand, limited throughput, and inefficient flow. So we focus on identifying the bottlenecks and proposing realistic, low cost improvements that could be implemented without disrupting the brand experience. Here's a look at the client journey beginning at reception and moving through five key stages: reception, division, super relaxante, hydration, and styling. Each of these stages is sequential, so delays at any point create ripple effects throughout the entire experience. But most notably, queues form before nearly every step, resulting in idle time for customers and stress for staff. This linear structure works completely fine under low demand, but under weekend pressure, it becomes a major liability. The process lacks flexibility, and the staff can't move fluidly between stations when backups occur. We observed that the super relaxante step was especially problematic. It has a long service time and lacks any real buffer or support. So, we dug deeper into what was causing that specific bottleneck. Let's look at the data. Madeira handles over 2,000 clients weekly, with nearly 400 on Fridays and over 500 on Saturdays. That's more than 75% higher than weekday demand. Yet, staffing level remains exactly the same throughout the week. This uneven demand leads to two major problems. The first, underutilized staff during weekdays, and the second, severe overload on weekends, particularly at the Super Relaxante station. Additionally, there's wide variability in worker efficiency. Some employees take nearly double the time to complete the same treatment, based on factors such as their skilled level and hair type. This inconsistency compounds the bottleneck, leading to long queues, lost clients, and reduced service quality. It's clear that the system needs to become more responsive and better balanced. Here, we break down the process more technically. Each step's time per unit, number of workers, and capacity are listed, along with calculated utilization rates. You'll notice that super relaxante and hydration stages are operating significantly above capacity, over their 100% utilization, which is unsustainable. Reception and styling, on the other hand, are underutilized, with staff often waiting for the previous step to catch up. This imbalance reinforces the idea that adding more staff alone isn't the solution. We need more flexible labor allocation and better process flow to prevent pileups and idle time. It's also it also is pointing to a even bigger issue. The longest processing time occurs at the most in-demand step. And this is just what's creating that classic bottleneck scenario. Our goal is straightforward. Improve operational flow at Maduria, particularly on weekends, to handle the peak demand even better. We set three specific targets. The first is increase capacity to meet rising weekend demand. The second is to reduce average customer wait time by 10 minutes, which is a modest but meaningful improvement. And the third is to improve utilization across all stations, making full use of staff without burning them out. We deliberately focused our changes that don't require major investments. So this would be like new locations or expensive tech, which is what we are avoiding. So instead, our recommendations leverage existing resources more effectively, and with some smart process and layout adjustments, we were able to achieve that. We also ran a detailed capacity analysis based on available time and number of staff. Each shift is 6 hours and there are 2 per day, giving us 720 available minutes per employee. With 41 staff members, Maduria currently serves around 365 customers on a peak day when all add-ons are considered. By increasing efficiency by just 15%, we can serve over 420 customers per day, bringing us significantly closer to the actual demand of 513 clients on Saturdays. This shows that we don't need drastic changes to meet demand, we just need to optimize labor distribution and tighten the flow between service stages. Revisiting our utilization chart, we see the same trend. Super Relaxante is operating at 1.538 or 153% utilization, meaning workers are overloaded and customers are waiting far too long. Meanwhile, hydration and styling are underutilized. That is an opportunity. If we cross-train staff and implement layout changes, we can redistribute some of this excess demand without hiring more people. This insight guided our improvement strategy, especially in focusing on staff flexibility and removing friction between stations. So, what exactly is causing the bottleneck? First, the super relaxante step is inconsistent. While the average treatment time is 40 minutes, some workers take as little as 25 minutes, while others are taking up to 60. This wide range stems from variation in worker skill, hair type, and even station setup. These factors are manageable, but only with the right interventions. Second, this step is highly manual and labor intensive. It's not realistic to expect a one-size-fits-all time. That's why we focused on supporting this station rather than simply pushing workers to go faster. Our solution centers around 4 key improvements. The first is to cross-train underutilized workers. This is so they can support bottleneck stations during high demand hours. This adds flexibility without increasing costs. Our second solution is to incentivize weekday bookings, and this is by using discounts or loyalty points. Even a 10% shift in demand over to those weekdays would greatly relieve that weekend pressure. Our third solution is to add mobile super relaxante carts to support overflow clients during peak hours. This would be significantly increasing throughput without needing more permanent stations. Our fourth is to optimize the layout to reduce the transition time between stations, and this would minimize delays caused by any unnecessary movement. Of these, Our top recommendation is to start with cross training and layout tweaks. These both offer strong impact with minimal risk. Now, looking over at our modified flow chart, here you can see our proposed flow. The biggest change is the reduction in wait time and smoother transitions between steps. With better cross training, mobile carts, and an improved layout, the entire process becomes more fluid and adaptive, especially on weekends. We also preserve the customer experience. Clients won't notice structural changes, but they'll feel the difference through shorter waits and more consistent service quality. Ultimately, this new flow supports both throughput and employee well being while protecting the brand's trusted reputation. After implementation, follow up is crucial. We recommend tracking weekend wait times and throughput metrics, monitoring utilization rates across stations, and measuring customer satisfaction and retention post implementation. As with any operational change, there are risks. Here's some of the ones we found to point out specifically: staff resistance to new roles or scheduling changes, forecasting errors that could lead to understaffing or overstaffing, and temporary disruptions during the layout transition. But with clear communication, strong leadership, and consistent measurement, these risks can all be proactively managed. Thank you so much for your time and attention. To recap, our proposal improves capacity, reduces wait times, and streamlines the process without requiring significant new resources. By empowering staffs, optimizing layout, and shifting demand, we believe that Maduria can meet its current challenges and continue to thrive as Belisa Natural grows.